If you say you have a dream of doing something like going on a big holiday, like buying a house, every pound that you spend that doesn't go towards that is casting a vote to say that it isn't important. A lot of men feel like they can't afford the things that they really want for their family, and they think that the problem is that they're not earning enough money. But that's not always the case. Because just like a bucket that you're trying to fill it with water, if it has holes in it, it doesn't matter how quickly you fill the bucket up, it never stays full. All that earning more will do is just cover up the cracks. I'm Liam from The Honest Debrief, and we're going to talk about my financial leak audit. This is actually phase 2 of 4 of the financial stability plan that I host in my community on School. If you haven't already seen phase 1, I'll put a link in the description so you can go back and watch that when you finish this. I know this works because I've done it for myself and I've done it for other guys as well. I was the sole income provider for my family. We moved into a renovation house and we needed the cash to do the work. So we needed to conduct this audit to work out where the money was going, and if those things weren't aligned with what we wanted, then they needed to be cut. This allowed us to actually move forward with what we wanted rather than stagnating. Visibility is the first thing here. You need to be able to see what is actually leaving your bank account. That's really what phase 1 is all about. So phase 1 summed up really quickly is discovery. What's coming in and what's going out. Once you know that, then you can start to apply the financial leak audit. Because you can't stop money going out if you don't know what that money is. Once we can see all of that, the leak audit is broken down into 3 stages. The first stage is the easiest and the fastest. These are the ones that you can do today. A few examples of this are streaming services. So if you've got 2 or 3 different streaming services, what you're really saying is the house doesn't matter, the holiday doesn't matter, the streaming services matter more. So what you can do really quickly today is if you've got, let's say, 4 of them, cancel 3. Just watch what is on one of them. And then next month or in a couple months' time, when you've watched everything you want to watch on there, then you switch them around. They take minutes to cancel, they take minutes to sign back up to, so there is literally no harm in doing this. The next example is on a similar line. It's the app subscriptions that sometimes get lost. And again, super easy. You go into your phone, either Apple or Android, you just go into the App Store, and you look at your subscriptions and see if there's any in there that you've forgotten about. Because there might be a couple that you've been paying for and you don't use anymore. So again, cancel them. Takes minutes. And here's another one, but it's probably not the reason that you think. Food delivery services like Deliveroo Plus. You might think that you're saving money, and you might be saving money on the delivery charges because you're ordering enough takeaway to get your money back. The problem isn't whether you're saving money on the delivery charges. The problem is how many takeaways are you having to save on those delivery charges? Because saving a couple of quid on delivery does not offset the fact that you're spending £30-40 on the takeaway. If you truly want the thing that you're dreaming of, cut some of the takeaway out, cook at home, or even just grab a quick meal from the supermarket. Much cheaper, still convenient. I just quickly wanted to say that this is a free resource that you can download. There's a link in the description to my free community where you can go in. You'll see all 4 phases of the financial stability program, and this is one of them, and you can download the PDF from there. So part 2 of the financial leak audit is your habits. And a couple of examples here are things like the meal deal. If you're working in the office or on site, it's easy to jump into the shop and grab the meal deal, or jump into Greg's and get the pasty. We love it, it's easy. However, it's more expensive than thinking ahead and taking your lunch from home. Let's look at the example. A meal deal at £5 a day, assuming that the normal month of 20 working days is £100 a month. You can take your own lunch for half that, probably less if you're really trying. So you could be saving £50 a month, every month. That £50 a month then goes towards whatever it is you're dreaming for. It's a small amount, but all these things do add up. And they build momentum towards the thing that you actually want. And it can be healthier. So it's a win-win. Fuel is a really big thing at the moment, right? And a really simple thing to do is to Google quickly fuel prices near me or cheap fuel near me. This will come back with a bunch of different websites. They're all perfectly good. And it'll show you that actually some petrol stations around you might be a bit cheaper than others. And if it's not significantly out of your way, then it's worthwhile taking the extra little detour and filling up there. Each time you fill up probably isn't going to save you tons of money. But across the year, this small habit will save you money. The third part to the leak audit is where you'll see some of those bigger returns, but they also take a little bit more work and you've got to get the timing right. I'm talking about things like car insurance here. Some laws have been put in place to help protect you from companies overcharging at the auto renew point. However, you can still normally get a better deal if you do go and search for a new deal rather than just auto renew. And there's actually a specific window when it is best to renew. The research has been done by money saving experts, and they show that you can save hundreds of pounds a year if you just renew at the right time rather than auto renewing. Obviously, this has to happen at the right time for you when you're ready to renew, and it's going to take you an hour or two to look through the comparison sites, to put in all your details and come back with the best result. But in terms of a return on your investment of time, that's great. If you can save a few £100s for the sake of a couple of hours, that sounds pretty good to me. And there's other things like your broadband, your internet. These come round maybe on an annual basis or every couple of years, depending on your contract term. And again, normally baked into an auto renew, and you'll see higher prices by doing that rather than going out to market, checking for the best deal. And here's another one to consider. If you're paying more than £10 a month for your mobile SIM, you're probably overpaying. And the problem here is that lots of companies will sell you a SIM contract at the same time as you take out a phone contract. And whilst they are two separate contracts, they're tied together. So you can't actually move off the SIM contract onto a cheaper one because you're still tied to the phone contract. What I did was I found out that I had about £200 left to pay on my phone and about £150 left to pay on my wife's phone. But we were paying SIM prices of £30 plus each. So what I did was I found the cash, I paid off the phones, and then I changed this onto £10 a month SIMs, saving us over £40 a month every month. Yes, it took a little bit of time. Yes, I had to have that cash ready to pay off those loans, because that's what they are. Even though it's interest-free, even though it says it's a contract, it's a loan. So I paid those off, saved us the money. Yes, it took time. Yes, it took some effort, but a good return. If you go through this, you can probably find hundreds of pounds, and that money will go towards your dream. So when you say, oh, I can't afford the house deposit, if you can find £200 a month, that's an extra £2,400 a year that's going towards that deposit. It might not get you there straight away, but it's moving you in the right direction that you're saying you want to go in. Nothing I've said here is groundbreaking. It's probably nothing that you didn't already know, but it might not have been something you were doing. If you say you have a dream of doing something like going on a big holiday, like buying a house, every pound that you spend that doesn't go towards that is casting a vote to say that it isn't important. If you choose to spend your money on things that aren't moving you towards your dream, you are voting to not get that dream. You are voting for the takeaway. You're voting for the coffee. You're voting for Netflix. You're voting for an easy life by not sorting out your car insurance, rather than the thing that you say you're dreaming of. That can be the hard truth to hear. So my challenge to you is to have a look at your finances. Whether you go and use my tools or not, just have a look at where you're spending your money and ask whether it is aligned with what you want. And if it isn't, do something about it. If you feel like you want some extra help towards this, then come and join the free community. The link is in the description. Here, we help dads provide the lifestyle for their family that they dream of. We provide the tools, the accountability, and the experience to help you get there. And if you haven't done already, then consider subscribing so you get notified when Phase 3 and Phase 4 videos come out of the Financial Stability Program.